Okay, class, this is our newest project. We are going to work with complementary colors. So you're going to choose complementary colors that you want to work with. I've decided to do red and green. You do not need to do red and green. You could do orange and blue. You could do violet and yellow. You could do yellow, green, and red, violet. You could do yellow, orange, and blue, violet. So yellow, orange, and blue violet's kind of a nice one because you make a weird green color when you mix them together. But all right, so if you look here, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a landscape photograph. So you can just pick any landscape you see online. I picked this one. I have a whole bunch of random magazine landscapes at home. And I picked red and green because the image I chose had a lot of colors I could mix with red and green. I'm not going to be able to mix everything, but I will be able to mix some of these or something close. So that's why I decided to pick red and green. So this is my palette. Your palette is only going to have the colors that you are going to use. So right now I have red, which I'm going to mix up because I want to use both reds. I'm going to mix that up. Okay, so I've got a nice red there. All right, and then I'm gonna mix my green up. So I decided to use mostly ultramarine and a little phthalo. On the color wheel, our green we made with just phthalo and yellow, but I want my green to be a little bit more neutral. So I'm gonna mix that up, make sure I got the color, got it right. Okay, so you want to mix these colors up ahead of time because it's tempting to take the blue or take the yellow to help paint the painting, but you're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to use these complementary colors. So what that means is you can use white, you can use green, you can use red, and you can mix them in any way you want. So let's look at, I'm going to start with, so I drew a little bit. I just outlined real fast the overall composition of my photograph. And now I'm going to mix up a brown, brownish color for the trunks. So I'm going to take green. It's not going to be the exact color. That's not our goal right now, to mix the exact color. Our goal right now is to make is to show the really big range that you can create with just two colors and white. Okay, so I've got a brown, and I'm gonna just come in here, get a bigger brush. And this first layer is kind of sloppy. You don't need it to be nice and clean. I didn't mix enough. You do not need to make it nice, clean, because if you did that, so you can see my brown doesn't really look, it's like this brown. This brown is a little bit more orange in it. That's okay. I can add a little bit more red in spots, but right now I'm just gonna really fast. If I want it lighter, I can just add more water at this point. Just doing the underpainting, real fast, sloppy underpainting. Do not need it to be nice and clean yet. Our last project, you used a lot of texture, or you learned how to do texture, so you can do that in this project too. You can use what you learned in that project to kind of make texture, because landscapes have lots of texture in them. But this first layer, you're probably not going to do that. This first layer, you're really working on just getting paint on there. and then I'll talk to you about what we're gonna do after that. Okay. I'm varying how thick the paint is so I can I think I did the sky. Oops. So I can tell the difference between the trunks. Okay, all right, so that's good enough. Now I'm gonna put the road in. So it's lighter than the trunk. So again, I'm not gonna be able to mix this with the two colors I have, and that's not your goal. Your goal is to get a good range of value just using these two colors. So I've decided to add some white, a little bit of red to the road. Oh, not enough. It's not light enough. Lighten it, add a little more red so it's a little bit different. Get the road in there. Okay, now I'm going to do the ground, which is very, very red. So I'm going to take the red, I'm going to neutralize it just a little bit, adding some green so it looks a little more realistic. In the image, it's a little bit more orange, but again, it's not our goal to get perfect. I'm just gonna slap that in there. This first layer you're slapping in, it's not looking for perfection. Okay, get that in there too. Okay, and then the next thing, I'm gonna put the sky in there. So the sky is like a gray white. I'm going to try to make it gray the best I can with these two colors. So I'm going to neutralize them. Okay. Pretty good. Add a lot of white to it. Okay, I'm gonna add that sky. Ooh, it's a little bit dark, so I'm gonna add more white. Still seems a little dark, but that's okay. I'm putting the sky in. Probably should have done that first, but again, this is the first layer. Okay, so again, no, I'm putting sky where there's not all sky. So you can see the sky is only really at the top. I'm just covering it up so that when I do put the tree limbs, the sky's already underneath. Okay, so you can see my image is pretty sloppy right now. So what I will do next is I would clean up the you want to work from back to front, so that's why I said I should have done the sky first. But I'm gonna, you know, clean up the sky, add the trunks, add the pine leaves, and then work on this ground here. I'm gonna go from back to front. I'll show you a little bit how I will do the tree leaves, and then I'm gonna stop the video and I'm gonna finish the painting while I'm recording myself, but I will speed it up so that you don't have to watch me for an hour. Okay, so tree leaves. So again, this is really yellow, but I don't have that option. So I'm just gonna take the green, add a tiny bit of red to neutralize it, and lots of white since it's light. So again, not really the right color, but I'm just gonna make texture. So you're not, like, if you have an image with trees, you're not gonna draw or paint every leaf. That would be impossible. You're just gonna come in, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, you're just gonna come in and dab, 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 dab to make it tree-like. Dab, dab, dab. Random. If you made this where every was organized, like if it was like doot, 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 organized, it would not look proper. It would look artificial. Okay, so I did that. Now I'm gonna add some darker green because we want, so I'm gonna add a lot of red to it to make it darker because it neutralizes it, but it also makes it darker. Add that, and then I can come in those darker greens too. And that would get the tree. Get some texture and depth in there. Like that. Okay, and then I'll come in again with the lighter green just on top. And again, it would be nice to add some yellow in here, but that is not the project. We are really working at the range we can make with just 2 colors and white. And you'll be so surprised how much you can do with just these 2 colors by mixing them together. Okay, so there's a little bit of a tree. All right, so this, again, this is a pretty messy image, but this is how you do that first layer. After, and again, look for the second video that will be in time lapse because it's going to take me at least an hour to finish this, but you can watch as I'm painting and just how I'm handling the paint. Watching someone make art really helps us learn how to make it. All right, talk to you later. Bye.